The scholarly never reads simply scripture. The scholarly cross-references many books of divination, cross-referencing scripture. Unfortunately, recent history shows that the mass do not study beyond the church or what the pastor or the priest teaches. Recent history, even including having technology in your hands, people still do not venture beyond scripture when it comes to one's personal beliefs within their relationship with source, perceivably speaking. I don't mean individually speaking, I mean collectively speaking. There's an entire collective that still continues to augment our reality, because when enough people work within a certain frequency node, such as believing, yet never daring or never having the tools or the ability or the sought wisdom attained to see or to seek at first initially beyond the veil of believing, using believing along with curiosity to see beyond the veil of deception. Deception is using the weak-minded, I say the lazy, because it's not a weak mind, it's a lazy mind. Not lazy to work, not lazy to do anything else outside of you, but lazy when it comes to your connection with taking belief into the knowing, taking knowing and releasing yourself from the knowing every day, just like filling up a cup, emptying your cup and filling it once again, making the space for the moment. Not seeking the past, not seeking the future, but being here and now. But thousands of scripture exist. Yet a compilation of one living scripture exists within each religion. You can say that there's 60-something books also in Ethiopia, but I would say there's more scripture than even what the Vatican can hold. They just say they're just books. Everything, every being, every moving part, anything and everything that has consciousness is living, breathing scripture. But the logical mind has been programmed to say verbatim exactly what is logic and what is real and what is solid and palpable for them. So you can't argue with someone who continues to keep their cup full, nor should you even attempt to. So I'm not speaking to those who have their cup full. I'm speaking to those who might be curious enough to see that scripture was here. The scripture that people are modernly, and what people in the modern days are indoctrinated, again, collectively speaking. I'm not saying every single one, but I'm saying collectively, to keep things polite, is if you see scripture from the eyes of a landlord. See, they separated government with religion so that people who start to seek faith, still required to be demographically controlled and having some form of a balance to keep the landlords, right? The ones who you would pay rent to, or the kings or queens, or people of government or higher ranking officials. See, scripture was created. It was siphoned from many, many truths of many schools and indoctrinated into you. And over hundreds and thousands of years, you continue to see truth within this weak or lazy mind. And it's as simple as being lazy no more. And just like a weak muscle, you strengthen that muscle. And that muscle only exists for you to you. Who cares if you believe me or not? All I'm asking you to do is stop simply just repeating everything that you read with scripture and open up a cross-referencing network to enhance your beliefs, but to test against your beliefs. It's not about testing yourself for between right and wrong. It's being able to open up your mind and allowing yourself the ability to have a belief that you can actually see beyond the veil, and use scripture to cross-reference the scripture of your spoken words, your tongue spoken, your command, as you are your own person. You do it for every single thing else. Would you at least be curious enough to see why everyone, the mass, who continues to go to church, which is not good, bad, or ugly, I'm not saying anything about that, but they simply follow, allow one leader, and never go beyond minimally the scholarly aspect of being open to scripture, not just in the Bible, but in the words of another person with love. With love of people who see things differently. Once we graduate from judgment of self and of others, maybe this false world will start to collapse and maybe something new will birth. The love of others unconditionally, I would say.